Hi, thanks for stopping by. Today is March 7th, and that's 2006. I'm getting ready for MLB data. The MLB data is actually right here. I'll show you just a little trick, and that is I have this shareable MLB page. It's demo data for demo purposes only. Someone comes by like Mandy, and Mandy puts her email address in. She clicks the box and she scrolls down. She finds the game. She clicks one button and she sent a calendar invite. Now, if you can get your head around the fact that there's 2,400 games, we have them loaded here in the Shareable engine. The Shareable engine itself is actually a data repository, and that data repo comes from somebody's calendar. In this case here, for demo purposes only, I am looking at the New York Mets, the Pittsburgh Pirates. This data came off my calendar. It was bulk uploaded and then injected into our shareable landing pages, which have various configurations using AI. But for today's brief demo, I'm going to show you that here's the verbatim data set. You can see that it's round one, Mets versus the Pirates, Mets versus the Pirates. Essentially, we're mirroring this data from this page here to this page here. We're doing that with our secret sauce called an API gateway. That API gateway here is demonstrated and visualized right here. And let me just bring up this page. So anytime I mess with my data on my business calendar and I hit save, that talks to API gateway, updates the landing page itself, the shareable page with the 2,400 MLB events in it, and anybody downstream that you've shared it with that gets a calendar invite off this page is auto-piped, if you will, any updates or cancellations for the game. Now, the purpose of this is for merchandise, tickets, and third-party offers. And you could see if you were to sharing something like 2,400 games downstream, people would come by and sign up for various events. And then the organizer over here would be running the show with piping updates to those people downstream. So that's the core concept. I'm going to get into the original pitch here and keep moving. And under keep moving, I just have a few minutes. So again, I showed you the concept. Somebody like Mandy comes by. She puts her email address in the shareable page here up at the top, red arrow. If you're following me, she clicks a couple buttons. She gets a couple games. Those games are tracked in the organizer snapshot. We gather all this data here using our APIs. And then on a organizer reporting status on a per event, if the organizer wants the emails from whoever signed up for the events off the shareable pages of theirs, there's one button to click, and those shareable calendar invites, if you will, that were sent off the page are sent in a detailed email address CVS and or text file to the organizer itself. So when we look at this data here, it does change here up in the left-hand corner. This is our stock landing page, and this is our MBA landing page. Now, these landing pages we do are on the fly. There's nothing for you to do. We build these visual engines, if you will, with AI, and they're extremely efficient. So that said, you see one there, two there. We're using the same data set. I showed you all how we get data into the system. It's a simple Dropbox, and this is an arbitrary Dropbox, which we set up as the administrators and the intellectual property holders of our tech stack. This tech stack is on AWS. It runs with all the AWS serverless components. I won't get into that. Essentially, the the calendar client is the CRUD engine. It creates, reads, updates, and deletes data using the API gateway, and that data is piped into these landing pages in which you share. So if you go look at it from a big picture standpoint, I got data into the NBA pages, MLB, and NFL pages by simply using this same construction set. This construction set is an inbound data processor to actually take the data off of any calendar, would it be Outlook or Google, pipes the data in, and we visualize these pages and we track all that data for updating. This is the other page here. This here was a custom page, but we ship this custom page engine. Again, it's really simple to use. There's a custom page, there's our stock pages, same visualization. Again, we're gathering data from the individual calendar invites. And if somebody was to actually send an update out, the update engine basically would update anything on these pages. So if you are to edit your original calendar invitations off your personal Google or Outlook calendar, again, that data is piped to these pages and downstream to anybody who's gotten these events themselves. So as I go through this, we have one critical piece of intellectual property for the calendar invite buttons. The calendar invite buttons are piped in here. When you click the get the invite, that calendar invite is sent, and that is a REST API, which is part of our intellectual property and workflow. And here's some more goodies here on how NBA games, somebody put their email address in like Mandy. She clicked the buttons. We track that data. Her individual calendar invites are sent to her email address using our REST API that does the magic behind the calendar invite buttons themselves. And using the update processor engine, anybody that would go in and edit, as I showed you in the previous slides, anybody that updates this content off their calendars is automatically piped to the update processor, and then we reimagine this workflow for the calendar invites to actually run the update engine to the landing pages, and anybody else has gotten a calendar invite downstream. Part of our secret sauce and magic is the intellectual property behind each individual calendar invite that is sent out. Request a participant. That participant action is a yes, no, maybe. And when someone interacts with these calendar invites downstream, we follow the IETF, the Internet Engineering Task Force obligation of how a calendar invite works on the internet. And that is solved here because what happens when somebody downstream clicks the yes, no, maybe button, we send that data back to an API gateway that's deployed with the calendar invite server inside your AWS account. And we gather that granular data that goes to an S3 bucket. It is hit with a Lambda, and then that's ground out in an ETL action and put in DynamoDB. And then you'll see these various visualizations here for the individual data for the organizer that collects all this rich information from the calendar receipts downstream from your customers. That is the wrap up, and thanks for stopping by and checking me out, or us out, on a Saturday, which is March 7th, getting ready for MLB, or Major League Baseball data. Thank you.